Once we understand that God has given us an unbroken historical record of the history of man from the beginning of creation, which shows that man was created less than 6,000 years ago, our next question should be, where do evolutionists get their numbers? And the answer is, evolutionist figures are scientifically determined. If you were to get a rock off the top, out of the middle, and from the bottom of the Grand Canyon, mix them up, give them to an evolutionist, and ask them to tell you which one is older, they could not. Yet, they will confidently declare that they know the ages of all the rocks in the Grand Canyon because they exhibit characteristics of other rocks in a concocted timing system which I call the geologic column dating system. At first glance, the logic behind their system appears sound. The layers in the geologic column were laid down successively. It takes a long period of time to lay down layers of dirt, and we can examine the contents of the layers, and this will tell us something about life at the time when the layers were deposited. And all this makes sense, and it is a regular part of our science and our own personal observations. For example, I took an Alaskan cruise to the Hubbard Glacier in 2005 and saw a thick band of dirt in the ice that was deposited there when Mount St. Helens blew. This is why scientists take core samples of ice and ground in order to examine the contents. So what's the problem here? The problem is, while this system works as described for elements and atoms, it doesn't work that way for fossils. Recently, I saw a television show on the Discovery Channel that depicted the death of a dinosaur. First, the dinosaur died and laid down. Then the wind began to blow and the sand began to cover his face a few grains at a time. Then, do you know what happens in real life? Rot. The fossils in the geologic column weren't preserved by a few grains of sand which accumulated over a long period of time, millions of years. The rock in the geologic column is interwoven layers of dirt and grit, sedimentary rock. Stop. End of discussion. This is a one-point paper. If you don't come away with another thing ever, get this. There would not be any fossils in the geologic column if it had been made the way the evolutionists say it was made. Go flood, go Bible, go God. For more information, click on Fossils in the Geologic Column tab at the following link, www.godsguis.com/created.